Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Falling Forward Financial. Just found another semiconductor stock here that is fairly cheap, and it's got a pretty decent dividend on it. And just kind of found this one and the previous one, Himax, by accident, researching Intel, and did a video on Intel as well. So. But I'll link all these in the description, but this one is United Microelectronics, ticker UMC. You can see they're down over 31% in the last year, in the past 3 months down over 20%, and here in the past month down over 21%. In the last week they're actually in the green, 0.77. So kind of had some flat action here, and then just kind of a run up, a boost, $6.30 to $6.79, but then dropped off, held it for a day or two, again traded kind of flat, and then kind of fell off, not as drastically as here, but interesting action. But and then here's a look at today. So it was up 678, down again. So this one also, I'd like to point out, does have an ADR, represents shares of non-U.S. based companies. Banks issue ADRs to facilitate trading on a U.S. exchange. Some banks require investors service fees 1 penny to 3 cents per share. I had my first run into with an ADR was Alibaba a while back. I had some cash in my account. Went to buy something and there wasn't anything in there. They took out like $38 once or twice. I can't remember what the deal was, but I just was like, yep, screw this, and sold my shares of Alibaba. So I was kind of upset, but that you got to kind of watch for and keep that in the back of your mind. But 1 to 3 cents isn't that big of a deal. But again, this is a semiconductor. Metal oxide, semiconductor logic wafers, mixed signal wafers, radio frequency complementary, and etc. Founded in 1980. Market cap of $16.26 billion. High today of $659, low of $645. 12-week high of $1268 and a low of $624. It's got a fat dividend yield on it. The Himax, HIMX, you can watch that video as well, had like a 18% dividend payout. This one is 7.47%. So I just looked up the dividend on TD Ameritrade, and it's 80 cents on an annual dividend, which is $6.53. The Himax, I believe, was a $6 stock, 18% yield, and like $1.25 on the payout per year. So kind of some cheaper semiconductors with some fat dividends. So average volume 10.28 million, and volume here today of 3.86. Earnings next is expected on July 27th, and I've covered Taiwan Semiconductor a couple times. Intel is my biggest holding currently. Microsoft Bing currently showing UMC as a buy, and doesn't show a 1-year projection. Sometimes they don't when a stock's under the price of $10 for whatever reason. But they are down 30, we'll just call it 40% year to date, but there is speculation that it will rally, and this is at the end of June on the 29th. So traded at $695. Downward move of minus 1.77%. I'm not going to go over all this since it's a little bit older, but just pointing the upside. There's always potential for that. Market cap of $16.97 billion with a forward dividend of 80 cents and a yield of 11.36%. EPS growth for the year raised at $1.12 for 2022 and 97 for next year. These figures represent 34.90 and minus 13.40 growth in EPS for the 2 years respectively. And here's kind of going over some other price action and some ratings, which we'll go over here at the end. But PDS Planning Incorporated acquires 3,538 shares of United Microelectronics, or UMC, and this is dated on the 28th, so kind of nice to see. But if you're looking to get into some of these, now would be the time. Not that I give tax, legal, or trading advice, but they are at 52-week lows, so don't know if they're going to go any lower or not. But by 20.8% during the first quarter, according to the company in its most recent disclosure with the SEC. The firm owned 20,572 shares of the semiconductors company stock after acquiring an additional 3,538 shares during the quarter. The holdings in UMC are worth $188,000 as of the most recent SEC filing. Hedge funds have also recently modified their holdings of the company, so always kind of nice to see to the shares trading hands and hedge funds buying in, but they also sell, so been seeing a lot of buying and selling lately. So, but maybe they're just moving cash, or maybe they've been in the stock for a while. It's hard to say why they move. Sometimes you can look at the price, and sometimes you can't figure out why they've done it, but they do what they do. So, UMC reports sales for June 2022. This is dated on July 6th. Today reported unaudited net sales for the month of June, and you can kind of go over those right there. All figures are in thousands of new Taiwan dollars, except for percentages. Additional information about UMC is available at their website, which we could just click and go to there now and just kind of see what it's all about. And once it gets done buffering here, but if you have this one, you can list it in the comments. If you have HIMX, like I said, I just did a video on them, or Intel, or if you have any other semiconductors, you can leave that in the description as well, and I'd be happy to take a look and possibly do a video about that as well. So first, UMC award, gold class, S&P, climate goals, shareholders, ranked top 5% in corporate governance, evaluation for 8th consecutive year. UMC by the numbers, number 2 in global pure play foundry market share, fabs located across Asia, semiconductor patents, Internet of Things, wearables, again another wave of the future, so definitely going to be watching this one, computing and data processing. And I'm trying to move it, but when I move the mouse it goes the other way, so there you can even get a job there. Sustainability, not really much outside of what we haven't went over. Over here on StockTwits, currently at 652. Sold by 246 funds, which is a change of minus 17 since the last reported quarter. 38 funds initiated positions in UMC. Unusual options observed with our scanner on a $7.50 put expiring 1/19 of 2024, worth $88,000. Something also to look into is in regards to the price, this would be a cheap option. So, but this is showing a buy with a amazing upside, a target price of $58.15. That's just kind of mind blowing. But on top of the dividend, and then if you could get up to 100 shares, you could do the option, if depending on which way you're wanting to roll with that. And if this is true, or even half of that, or even $10, you'd have a decent return plus the dividend. But just something kind of interesting, and I thought I'd throw this one out there, see who has it. And I might be looking into this one as well as HIMX, and just buy a couple shares and just see what happens with it and go from there. But with the fat dividend, so it's just kind of crazy. But that's all that I have on this one, and if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing, and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money, Falling Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.